30 today. Chapter 30 starts with government expenditure and it ends with net trade. So when we talk about net trade, basically we're talking about the difference between a country's export and its import, which is the same as net trade balance. So we can call it net trade or net trade balance. I think the point is clear there. Is it clear, please? Yes. Great. So here I wrote, it is the difference in the value between a country's export of goods and services and its imports. Before the class started, he was asking me about volume of export and value. No, he was asking about volume of export. Volume of export is the quantity of export. The value of export is the volume multiplied by the price of export. That gives us value. I think the point also is clear. There's volume, which is quantity. There's value, which is the price multiplied by the quantity, which is the volume. Clear? Great. So whenever we talk about net trade, it means we're talking about exports and imports. So what is export? These are goods and services sold to foreign countries or foreign customers. So we call it export because we're selling these goods to foreign countries or foreign customers. Then we have imports here. Goods and services bought from foreign countries. So we call it import because we are buying from foreign countries or foreign businesses. I think we get the difference here now. Yes. Thank you. We move on. So what are those factors that influence the demand for exports and imports? The first one is about price. Buyers are always conscious about price, definitely. So the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. So if the price of import or export is less, demand for import or export would increase. If the price of import or export is high, the demand for import or export would fall. That is the logic behind the law of demand, which is known to everybody, right? Is it known to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So when price itself depends on supply factor, which is cost. So we wouldn't sell at a lower price if the cost of production is not falling. So for firms or for foreign businesses to sell at a lower price, it would have meant that their cost of production has also reduced. Do we get it? So price is a factor, but it's dependent on the cost of production. Do we get it?
Yes.
Good. We move on. Real income in the domestic economy. Another factor that would affect import or export is the real income. We're talking about the money earned within the economy. So if real incomes increases in an economy, Mohammed, sit properly and be here. Sit properly. Sit properly. Sit upright. Sit upright. And try to be here, okay? So for real income, when we talk about real income, we're talking about the earnings within the economy. If the earnings within the economy increases, it makes us to do more of imports. But if our earnings within the economy fall, we don't have much more. How can we think about buying imports? We won't buy imports, we won't think about imports because we don't have much more. It is when we have much more, we start thinking about importing goods. Do we understand real income here? So if real income increases in the economy, it's likely for imports to increase. But if real income falls within the economy, it's likely for imports to fall. I think the point is clear. Is it clear, please?
Yes.
The next factor is the exchange rate. When we talk about the exchange rate, we're talking about the price of a country's currency in regards to other countries. So here I wrote, this is the price at which a country's currency is sold for another. The price which the dinars is sold for the dollar. That is what we call the exchange rate. So, for example, a rise in the value of the Libyan dinars means that it costs foreigners more to buy the dinars. So if the dinars rises against other currency, so it becomes difficult for foreigners to use their local currency to buy the dinars. As a result of that, exportation becomes higher, the price of export becomes higher. So Libya becomes less competitive in terms of exportation. But the good thing about this is that it becomes cheaper for Libyans to do imports. Do we get it?
Yeah.
Export value would rise. So foreign customers would not want to buy from you anymore because the prices are too high or expensive for them.
Is it advantage or disadvantage?
Yeah, it's either ways. If at this stage, this could increase your balance of trade. Because when you are able to sell, as expensive as it is, and you are still able to sell, it improves your balance of trade. That is why we need to talk about non-price factor, which is quality. If export is high, if the prices of your goods that you are exporting is high, but it has quality, customers might still buy. Do you get it?
Yeah.
It's high, the price is high, but it's got that quality, so customers might still buy. Foreign customers might still buy. But the problem about doing more of import is that it could bring about balance of trade deficit. So it has to balance. You must not do more imports than export. Or better still, you do more export than import. Because when you do more export than import, it gives the value, it gives your country's currency value. So other countries will need more of your currency. But when you do more import, you need other countries' currency. Then the value of your currency falls. That is what is happening right now. The dinar is losing its value against the dollar because more of import is done. So we need more of dollars. And if we need, the higher the demand for dollar, the lesser the value needed to meet that dollar. So the dinars against the dollar will continue to fall. Except if the dollar starts needing the dinars. And that could only happen if we do more of export than imports. Do we get it, please?
Yes.
Great. That's about exchange rate. Then we go to the state of the world economy. For the state of the world economy, we're talking about the economy as a whole, the global. So if there's increase in the level of income globally, imports and exports would increase. I think that point is clear. Is it clear, please?
Yes.
The next one, degree of protectionism. When we talk about protectionism, we're talking about trade restriction. So if there's trade restriction like tariffs or quota or ban, this affects exportation. So we can't export. As Libyans, we cannot export to other countries because other countries do not want us. They have restricted our trade. What can we do? We retaliate. So we're not going to also accept importation. So both import and export would fall due to trade restriction, which is the same as protectionism. Do we get protectionism there? Great. And the last one is the non-price factors. I talked about it already. The true fact is that price is the reason why people buy. That is the reason. Price is the reason why people buy. But you have to put into consideration a non-price factor, which is so important, which is what the standard quality. So if quality is present, most of the time consumers will forget about the price because it's meeting their expectation. Do we get it? So these are all factors that affect imports and exports. Do you have any question? No. And that ends chapter 30. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about aggregate supply. Thank you.